Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with my review of Dune, Part 1. Now, to be clear, the review is not going to be in two parts, but rather, as an adaptation of the novel Dune, it will be two parts. So, quick summary. This is the most recent live-action adaptation of Frank Herbert's 1965 science fiction novel Dune. It actually only covers about the first half or so of the novel. Quick thoughts. It only covers the first half, but it nails that first half, and it's honestly just absolutely beautiful to look at. Yeah. Wow. Wow. So the cast of note, we've got Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides, the son of Duke Leto Atreides and his Bene Gesserit concubine Lady Jessica. Possibly the end result of the Bene Gesserit's breeding program. Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, member of the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, concubine of Duke Leto, mother of Paul, and a very capable hand-to-hand fighter as well, I might add. Next up, we've got Zendaya as Shawnee. She is one of the Fremen of Arrakis, and is the girl that Paul constantly sees in his dreams of the planet. Next, we have Oscar Isaac as Duke Leto Atreides, the leader of House Atreides. Wanted to be a pilot rather than Duke. Cares for his people more so than the spice. Next up, we've got Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho, the sword master of House Atreides, as well as one of Paul's friends and mentors. Stellan Skarsgård as Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, leader of House Harkonnen, brutal and deceitful. Stephen McKinley Henderson as Thufir Hawat, who is the Mentat of House Atreides. He's also fairly close with Paul. Quick sidebar: a Mentat is, basically speaking, a human computer, as in the future of Dune, computers are banned due to events that occurred in the future history, what would basically be the future history of the series. Next up, we've got Josh Brolin as Gurney Halleck, who is the weapons master of House Atreides. He's also an accomplished musician, as well as one of Paul's mentors. There's Javier Bardem as Stilgar. Stilgar is the leader of the Fremen of Siege Tabor. Next, we've got Sharon Duncan Brewster as Dr. Liet Kynes, Imperial Ecologist and Judge of Change on Arrakis. She's welcome in both Siege and Village. Chen Chang as Dr. Yui, who's a Suk doctor for House Atreides. Another sidebar: Suk doctors are highly conditioned doctors who are supposedly incapable of causing harm to their charges. Dave Bautista as the Beast Raban, nephew of Baron Harkonnen, who ruled Arrakis in the Baron's stead. Next up, we have David Dastmalchian as Piter de Vries, who's House Harkonnen's Mentat. Charlotte Rampling as Reverend Mother Gaius Moaim, who's the leader of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood. Taught Lady Jessica in Jessica's early days within the Sisterhood. And finally, we have Babs. God, I hope I would say this at least close to right. Olusan Mokan as Jameis, a Fremen who factors prominently in Paul's visions. Not as prominently as Shawnee, but he does factor into them. So, our spoiler-free breakdown. In the year 10,191, the most precious substance in the known universe is the spice melange. It extends life, expands consciousness, and is vital to space travel. And it is only found on one planet, Arrakis, which, as the film begins, is currently under control of House Harkonnen. However, Harkonnens have been told they are no longer stewards of the planet, as per the Emperor. In fact, stewardship of Arrakis is being given to House Atreides, a longtime rival house to House Harkonnen. However, we learn early on that this is all a ploy to destroy House Atreides, arranged by Baron Harkonnen as well as the Bidisha Emperor Shaddam IV. Upon the Atreides' arrival on Arrakis, Paul, who has been dreaming of the planet and its inhabitants, the Fremen, for some time now, takes to the Fremen ways as though born to them, all while his father seeks to alliance with the Fremen in an effort to strengthen both groups. Paul and the Duke also observe spice operations and in fact rescue the crew of a spice harvester. Harvester? I think it's called a harvester. From a worm, with the Duke making it clear he doesn't give a shit about spice that they're harvesting, but his people. That's who he cares about. Eventually, the Emperor and the Harkonnens strike at the Atreides, setting the stage for the second part of Dune. So, ups and downs. As I mentioned earlier, it's absolutely stunning to look at. Denis Villeneuve, who directed Blade Runner 2049, also directed Dune, and just the production design is just gorgeous. Oh, everything just, yeah. Anyway, the film is very well directed, extremely well acted, fairly true to the book's first half. More on that a little bit later. The production design also looks amply alien, foreign, for being set in the year 10,191. The way I kind of see it is that, by that point, basically whatever the technology that mankind has developed will likely be. If we were to look at it, we kind of just say, if someone from the early 21st century were to see it, they'd probably say, "What the hell is that?" Until someone from that time period said, "Oh, well, this is a ball." Now, as I said, as I mentioned, it's fairly true to the book's first half, though it seemed like there were some characterizations that were omitted. Now, the moments in question may have been only in David Lynch's 1984. I want to say it was 1984 adaptation, but I'm fairly certain that in my various read-throughs of the novel, that those scenes were also present. So hopefully, maybe we'll get extended cuts of these. I could easily see if the plan is to adapt the full, at least, well, maybe not the full series, but at least Herbert's initial 6 novels. I can see it easily being at the very least quite a few movies, just to get it right. Again, much fairly similar to how Peter Jackson did Lord of the Rings, but these would likely be even longer, as they are slightly more true to the source material. Which, honestly, to be slightly truer to the source material than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies were, that's no mean feat. But so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way, if we were to get an extended version or we weren't. I wouldn't be surprised either way. Same with a complete edition, I guess. having both movies together. But anyway, so my final thoughts are that this is, in all honesty, this is the Dune movie I've been waiting for for years, and it's almost perfect, which is why for a rating it gets a 5 out of 5 easily. I can't imagine there being another movie coming out this year that will be better than this. It was just that good. A few things to note: it is over 2.5 hours long, so if you go to the theater, if you watch in the theater and maybe you decide to get a drink, you sip the drink. Don't drink it. You know what I'm saying? I made that mistake myself. So. But such a great movie. And I really do hope we get Dune Part 2 as soon as possible, because just wow. Anyway, that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.